Good evening, our football fans from around the world. It's another football show. And this evening, we're going to be talking about Arsenal. What exactly did they make of the winter transfer break? The areas that were supposed to have been addressed, striker, midfield, defense. What did they do right? What did they do wrong? And with me to discuss that is Warif, Mustafa, Kunle, and Saeed. You guys are welcome to
Oh,
the show.
okay, thank you guys. I'm going to start
Yeah.
quickly with a few statements. So Arsenal is doing okay. They beat Man City 5-1. Man City is still recovering from a tough season, but I think they did very well with the January transfer window. They got Mamouche, who's very good, and they got two other players. Falabi can tell us who those two players when I handle. I've forgotten, but I think Arsenal needs to still address this issue
Top nine.
with their number nine. They also need to get. I still think they need to settle up and get more defensive in their midfield. They need a more whether they have a good defensive
Aggressive,
CDM or not.
creative
Whether
midfielder.
they have a good CDM or not, it needs to be more functioning better in that position. But I think that they shouldn't fall asleep and think that because they beat Man City, they're still trying to track Liverpool, and Liverpool is tough. But
Yeah.
starting with that, so this episode is about. I give Arsenal a D, almost an F
I want to
for.
start on Arsenal before Warif because Warif has a lot to say.
Okay, yeah. So let me let Ryan go. So what I would say is that Arsenal is doing okay. They beat Man City, but I still give them a failure in which they didn't do anything during the transition period for
Transfer
the
window.
January
Uh,
window. And I think everybody has said it. Kunle and Warif has said that even Arteta now is angry. Why doesn't
yes.
the Arsenal management want to address needs that they need through transfer window? You can't win in the EPL unless you do transfer activities, and they haven't done anything. And they beat Man City, but meanwhile, Liverpool is still floating ahead. We'll start with you, Warif. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me just
Okay.
disturb Warif for 1 minute.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So,
Let him just
yes,
there.
Arteta, like I said, is the best thing that's happened to Arsenal. And
Okay.
Arteta has now come out in the press conference to let the club and the world know he's not being supported by his owners. It's something I'd always suspected because everyone keeps saying Arteta doesn't want a striker. He doesn't. That why can't he get a striker? That he's a dumb coach. That the whole world, except for him, doesn't know that they need a striker, and that's the basis of Arteta out. And Arteta has now made it quite clear that he has been
There's
let
no
down. I mean,
export.
he spoke very
Okay.
politely, but if you read between the lines of what he said, he's pissed that he
Kule,
can't
you're a
get a
Man U
striker.
fan. Shh. You're a Man U. Don't let them wake up. Don't let
I'm
them wake
talking
up.
football and just being honest. And it's not every
He's
time
talking
that
as
I
an
come and
analyst.
drag. I don't drag
I'm just kidding. Okay,
Arsenal
thank you for starting us on
all
off.
the
Kule,
time.
you have a point because Kule, I always argue with you a lot, but I'll agree with you that it seems like maybe it's Arteta has some sense, but there are big problems. I still think Arteta has problems with handling very mature, challenging players. But you have a point. So let's go to Warif, who's an expert on the Arsenal team. He's a fan. He suffered for 1,000 years now without them winning. Warif, what are your thoughts?
Well,
I think Kule has a point. What do you think, Warif? Yeah.
yeah. I think what I'll buy to Kunle's view of it. Because the way we see it, the way fans sees it is different from the way the owners of this club they see everything. They're after profit, and so you cannot just tell them and they just go into this except if they want trophies. And Arsenal owners, they are not after trophies, they are after profits. Okay, now to the game of on Sunday between Arsenal and Man City. Well, that match I had hope of Arsenal winning maybe like 2-1 or
Yeah.
maybe one
I thought
zero.
it was going to be a draw. Yeah.
I never thought of 5-1. Even myself, I was shocked on my own. Now, to what I will say about that game is this. I think Man City, what happened to before some of us joined, I was discussing with Mr. Folabi, what happened to the Arsenal team of the invisible that they did not like when you're pouring water, when you have something in the glass, you don't just allow it to dry. You have to gradually bring in more other players so that they don't just fade out. Like during the time of Henry, Wiltord, Overmars, and so on, they were very good. So they just allow those guys to fade off. That's what Man City is trying to suffer from. If you watch, most of the players, they are getting aged and worn
Yeah.
out. Like De Bruyne, when he came in second half, I said, wow, this guy is going to do wonders. But the camera did not even pick him for once. That means he's getting weak.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
very
think
quickly, I
the
think from
midfield,
watching that game,
the,
even early in the game, Arsenal missed the first goal. I said this is going to be a blowout. I'm not Arsenal. Man City's
Man
defense,
City.
central defense is weak. and they don't have a CDM
Yeah.
because what's his
Yeah.
name is injured, and Arsenal exploited it. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
And again, their midfield is weak. Their
It's
defense
weak.
is
Yeah.
shaky.
They have a good
The
front
first
four.
goal, the first goal came from a mistake from what's it called? One of the defenders. The second goal that Kai Havertz would have scored to make it 2-0 came from also a mistake, but he missed that chance. So
Yeah.
and again, as what's it called? Arteta should have this belief in his young players like Skelly and Waneri. Those boys, they are young, they are fast, they are strong. Like Nigerian people always say, their blood they hot. They want to deliver. So give them this chance. There is this Yoruba guy also, Adedeji. I'm not saying you should give them full 90 minutes, but gradually be introducing them into the game.
Yeah.
You'll see that it will help us. Now, since you don't want to, they didn't sign a striker, look for a striker. It's not that Kule has taken our striker that would have delivered for us. So we have to for another one. And also another defender.
Don't worry. Maybe my Man U will give Arsenal Højlund.
So that it was a good game.
This sounds funny, but you'd actually do well in Arsenal.
No, Højlund is young. He's only 20. That guy is bloody. It's just that Man U is not giving him service. That's it. Yeah.
So it was a good game. It was a good game. What I would say to the Arsenal players and the coach, they shouldn't allow that game to get into their head.
Because they need to focus. They need to focus on Liverpool, and also they need to focus on not dropping points to small teams.
Yes, and if Arsenal wants to really give Liverpool a fight, they need to beat Liverpool. They hope that Man City will beat Liverpool, then Arsenal will win. That's from the calculative part of
that may even happen.
Football.
So I'm gonna pivot.
How are we sure we are not going to drop point?
Well, anything happen.
No, sorry, that can't happen in England. And
again, sorry, let me say something. You see, English officiating is very, very poor. There's this incident that happened there when Silva kicked Martinelli. No caution, no yellow card, nothing. And children are watching this thing. Children that loves Silva, they want to behave like him. They want to act like him. So the English press or the English officials, they shouldn't give chance to young children to begin to act like their stars. Because when they do those things, that's why they ban smoking in Italy. Because children are watching football, before they want to behave like their role model or like one of their the people they look up to. So English officials, they should try.
If they want to become like Balotelli, who attacked women's dormitory. Him and his friends attacked women's dormitory at night.
They start diving on Sunday in the afternoon. And they're playing with their friends who start diving too.
Yeah, they want to act like these players.
They want to say, Mbappe doesn't practice.
You see them doing my impression.
They want to do Mbappe. They want to do that. They begin to act like them, and sometimes might not.
You know what happened? So in secondary school, the coach said, "Pass the ball." Shut up, coach. Mbappe no pass ball. Why should I?
In street football, they'll say everything follow or join.
You guys, they should follow Yamal. Yamal doesn't even have internet. His dad said no way. Yamal's dad even took away his phone because of his girlfriends. Yeah. Anyway, so what are your thoughts, Afolabi? Then we'll go to Saeed, or what we're talking about, the transfer window. And I think we can say that we'll give Arteta 50-50. He's doing some good things, but he's also disagreeing with his team, but also he still needs to become tougher. What do you think, Afolabi?
Yeah, personally, first and foremost, what worries about English referees.
Oh, come closer. You still have that voice problem. Yeah,
what worries about English referees, I think is very true. Because if you look at most continental championships, like the World Cup and the Euros, you hardly see English referees there. They are very, very few.
Yeah.
And it's because of all these negative calls and all these that they do. And then I think Arsenal should have tried to at least find, if they couldn't get a replacement for Saka, at least an understudy. That area, they depend so much on Saka. Saka is injured now.
So maybe they're trying to bring Ollie Watkins, right? Actually, Afolabi, try to move back a little bit. Maybe there's a sweet spot where you're not too far back or too far forward. Yeah, continue.
Okay. So basically, I feel they should get a young player who can be like an understudy to Saka.
Yeah, I think
Like
Watkins can
Nwaneri.
help them too. So what?
I
Yeah,
think
thank
isn't
you,
that what
Falabi. What do
Nwaneri
you think?
is?
What do you think? Said, maybe Watkins will help, but they still need a true number 9. But what do you think? Yeah.
My own opinion, I don't think we need Watkins. I'm not probably maybe because I'm not a Watkins fan. There are
Yeah.
several players that we need
30.
that we're supposed to get. You understand me? We didn't
Yeah.
get there. Osimhen is there. We didn't get him. This guy before he went to Saudi Arabia. That is
Duran.
guy.
Duran.
Not
Duran.
even
John
Duran.
Duran.
One break.
Okay. What's it called? Ivan Toney.
There's one.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Tony.
Ivan
Yeah.
Toney.
Ivan Toney.
Remember, we are linked to that guy too. We didn't get him. This we didn't. It's not looking like it. And this Sporting Lisbon guy, I am 100% certain that Amorim, Man U coach will
Who
definitely
from Sporting
come
Lisbon?
that
Who?
guy.
Oh, Gutierrez.
Victor Gyökeres.
Gutierrez.
Gyökeres.
That guy
Gyökeres.
the guy is a
No,
bully. He's a
Gyökeres
fighter.
to me, Gyökeres and Haaland and Osimhen are the best young number 9s in the world. The young
Yeah,
ones.
right.
Yeah.
These are the current
And also-
top 9
and also-
strikers that
And also Isak, he's on those with
Yeah.
them too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alexander
Alexander
Ivan.
Newcastle
Isak
boy.
is just
Alexander Isak.
just by so going by what Mr. Kunle said, me, I don't buy that. That one is just an excuse for me. That saying Arteta is saying is disagreeing with the doctor or
Said will also always
So it
disagree
was
with
a
Kunle.
press conference. It was a press
Arteta
conference.
cannot do
He said
anything if the
so.
board does not
He
support
hung out
him.
the owners to dry. Did you see the conference?
Bro,
This is what he
you're a
said.
lawyer. You know the game they are trying to play. It is just like as if okay, you guys should
Businessman game.
It's not my fault.
Yes, now, but he doesn't
No,
have
I
striker. What do
don't-
you want him to do? What do you want him to
No,
That's
but
do?
what I'm saying.
Kunle is true. So Kunle,
So
here's
you
what I
mean
would say.
that if he actually pushes,
So Kunle, here's my argument. There are certain people who have what
He
I would
said
call.
you look in the youth
So
what
Kunle,
you can find.
So
He
Kunle,
said that in
Kunle, I'm
his
going to use
speech.
Kunle. I'm going to use religious language now. There are certain people in this world who you don't fuck with. You don't fuck with Mourinho. You don't fuck with Guardiola. This guy doesn't have that level of
Exactly.
authority.
So
So hold
Yes.
on, Arteta doesn't have that level of authority.
Mourinho needs a player now.
Yeah,
He won't
so
get
what I'm
it.
trying to say is
Mourinho
that there's
is
some
player
people-
himself.
So Kunle,
Mourinho
listen.
got fucked at
Kunle,
United.
listen.
Some clubs don't allow
Guardiola, Guardiola, even this guy for Hansi Flick. These are very powerful people, and they won't take the job
Ancelotti.
unless they have power.
Papa
see what I'm
saying?
Ancelotti. Papa
Well,
Ancelotti.
Yeah,
clearly
cannot mess
Arsenal
up
is not
with him.
empowering
So I'm not dissing
to
Arteta,
get a
but
striker.
Arteta is a little bit passive. He needs to.
Yeah.
He also needs to go to war. Arteta is very
That's
powerful.
down to the owners and their shares. They don't give a damn
Yeah,
about
but it's
what-
also down to the coach. Because let me tell you, if Arteta said, "If you don't give me
Down to the
power, I'm
coach.
leaving," Kunle, let me give you an
Yeah.
example.
Ah,
Kunle, let
that
me
is
give you an example, guys.
leaving
Let me
so
give you an
close.
example. Let me give you an example. If Arteta went to the owners of Arsenal and said, "If you guys don't give me more power, I'm leaving," they will listen to him. He's not standing up to the owners because the owners also need him. Because if Arteta leaves, Arsenal is going to fall apart, like you said, Kunle.
So far.
So he needs to
Yeah.
exercise his power because they can't afford to lose Arteta. So Arteta needs to
So-
realize he has more power than
Well,
they
was
think he
what
does.
all that was about. That
Yeah.
was what his press conference was about.
Yeah, but
about standing up to the
yeah,
owners.
and so now what I'm saying
What
is
else
that, so
can you
now
do?
so Kunle, I agree with you. So from this moment forward, he needs to start to exercise his power too, because he also
Oh.
has power. Because if he
Exactly.
leaves,
You know,
if he
they do
leaves,
sometimes
Arsenal's
have
going to fall apart. Yeah.
They sign some of them sign these non-disclosure agreements and all sorts that can be sued or they can forfeit.
Yeah, but
their
you can.
salary
But
if
you,
they
here's
do.
what I
So we
hate to
don't
say this,
know
Kunle.
what's in those.
Kunle, do you know what I would do if I were Arteta? I would just tell somebody to threaten them and say it's not him and say, hey, we know that Arteta has this non-disclosure agreement. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He should
You know
be
that-
using
you
that
know
type of strategy where somebody calls.
Arteta is a calm coach.
You know what I
He's
mean?
too
You know what I mean by Kunle?
I-
He should tell
I-
them,
I
tell
know
the
what
press.
you mean, but I
Yeah.
mean that's not football. That's something else.
Arteta is too much of
Politics.
a
That's how
they go.
But that's how
Arteta is
sports
too much
work.
of a
was
nice
reading-
guy. He's not. He's
Yeah,
not that
he's
Days
too
ago,
calm.
I was reading
Yeah.
how
I can understand that it's
Mourinho-
important that it can work, but it's not a
I was
skill that's
reading
expected
how
of
Mourinho
football
got
coach.
Montana.
But that's
Gangster.
Kunle, that's
They did
sports.
at Milan.
Kunle, let me give you an
Yeah,
example.
he said
Kunle,
he told him.
sorry, let me give you an example. Kunle, when that woman sued Horny Horner for sleep, he threatened a woman in his company and he fired her after she sued him. But they put pressure on him around the block for him to behave. So that's what Arteta needs to do. He needs to use politics. Politics is part of
Yeah.
sport. because it's
Well,
money.
that's
Yeah,
what he's doing,
true.
and he's doing just that. So,
Oh yeah, he started
He's
doing
dancing
it.
to the tune of the owners.
So Kule, I agree with you. This is the
good
first
on
step,
him.
but
Good
he
on
needs to
him
take.
for expressing
You know
his
what I
anger.
think? I think that because Arteta is beginning to realize that he's just as powerful as the ownership, so now he needs to flex his powers. What do you
He needs
think,
to flex. Yeah.
Warif? Yeah.
I don't know what was included in his contract, but like there are some coaches you can't mess up with. Once they tell you that this is what they need, if you don't do that in the next season, they will just I don't know if they have the agent that will look for it. People like Mourinho, Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola,
They don't deal with this.
what's it called? Atletico
Mourinho
Madrid.
took a lot of bullshit at Man United. I think Conte doesn't take that kind of shit. Conte, before he signs the contract, will get up and walk. Mourinho is a bit more flexible.
So the owners of Arsenal, they know the kind of person that Arteta is. That's why they are just playing with him.
He's mild, but he needs to stand up. Yeah.
If he's a rugged coach, outspoken coach, and he tells them that give me a number 9,
he's too much of a nice guy.
Bother them. You see that
he's now become. I think he's now reached that level that he should be given the respect, and he's now trying to express that. Finish off the season strongly. You may or may not win Carabao Cup. That doesn't matter. Finish in the top 4. Finish well in the summer. Get a proper transfer window.
Kule, you know what happened? You know what happened, Kule?
Strikers and go again.
Kule, you know what happened?
Reinforce your midfield and defense and go.
Kule, you know what happened? Arteta's wife read the newspaper. She said, "You see, Guardiola's wife left him. If you don't stand up, I will leave you too."
I'll leave you.
just give Arsenal can build on what they've got.
I'm just joking.
Players. Bring them into the team.
Test them
once or twice. Don't bring them too much. And then get like 4 players in the Get 4 players.
But they still need to get a number 9.
Big striker.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move to the next thing. Very good half. So I'm going to go to Afolabi. So who were the 3 players that Man City got? I still think they did very well during the window. They got Mamouche and 2 other guys.
Yeah, Nico Gonzalez, a midfielder from Spain, a Spanish midfielder from Porto, 50 million pounds, very versatile midfielder. He can play center midfield, center defensive midfield, very versatile player, a very good signing.
How old is he?
The guy, I think he's 22 or so. I think what happened with Rodri has made Man City more wise. They're now looking for midfield options for players that can play not just defensive midfield, but attacking midfield and are more versatile. So they got Nico Gonzalez and they got another defender, Abdulkadir Kujanov from Lens in France, to strengthen their defensive options, because there was a time almost all their defenders were injured.
So to me, I believe that it's between Chelsea and Man City for 3rd place, and 1st and 2nd will be Arsenal and Liverpool. What do you think?
Yes. I agree with you. Absolutely. It's going to be
Nottingham Forest.
And in my own opinion,
I think
Man City is the more consistent of Chelsea.
Yeah, so it's going to be a battle between Chelsea, Man City, and Nottingham Forest for top 4.
I think Forest will finish 4th. I don't think that I think that they might finish 4th or 5th.
Who do you think will finish 3rd? Chelsea or Man City?
Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that Forest will be in a fight for Champions League position. They shouldn't be in a fight for a title.
So you think Man City will come 5th?
Yeah. The 4th of no. Yeah, Man City and Nottingham Forest are going to fight it out for 4th and 5th position.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
and Chelsea has to be careful too, because Chelsea, they're a talented team, but they just need to mature a little bit.
Chelsea have a bunch of players.
I think they have the same problem with Arsenal. They don't have a striker, really.
Yeah, because this guy is doing too much work. Parma is doing too much work.
Their strikers are not doing well at the moment. Not that
imagine Man City didn't get rid of Parma. Wow, that would be crazy.
Wow, I'm telling you.
All right, so
they'll be regretting selling him.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Saeed? Saeed is like, hold on, guys, where's my part?
Like, just so we actually needed play a team to boost up. It's because of slight upset that they got in the beginning of the season.
City will rebound. They'll rebound.
So going by what Mr. Kunle said, that is the 3rd and 4th and 5th position is between Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, and the Man City. I think
Hold on, Kule, look, guys, look. I got
Ah.
beer from India, Taj Mahal. This is from India.
Touch.
Wow.
Mr. Mustafa, they need to come and sponsor our show.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
Advertising
come.
for
Don't
them
worry,
free
we'll
of
talk to
charge.
them. Yeah. Okay, so this has been a good show. We're just gonna go around the circle. So last thoughts, Saeed, then we'll go to Kunle, then to Warif, then to Afolabi. So
I
Saeed,
didn't
last
even hear
thoughts.
what Saeed was trying to say something.
I know, because I was talking about beer. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Continue, Saeed. Yeah.
So, going by what we said, I don't know why Arteta didn't get a striker at least.
Striker.
Yo, he needs a number 9. Yeah.
I said that earlier, that assume he just managed by whether it's Osimhen or Sesko or that guild.
You're correct.
We can get. I'm a new jersey of Arsenal jersey, because there is right now. I'm being factual. I can't say we can let us be. It's just managing for at the moment. It's not as if it's a contender. We can't say Arsenal is a contender in whether it's Premiership or league.
I think they can get Isaac.
Cup.
They can get Isaac. There's
Arsenal
something
is
about
out of the FA Cup.
They can get him.
You know, the thing, he why can't he just one? I don't know, champions striker that is doing good, or that has not yet played in Champions League Europe to complement. We don't have Jesus anymore. We have. What if Harvard had injury this night? What is going to happen? Who is going to play?
What you're saying is true.
So, Said, your connection is bad. But what I will say is that maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I think. I'm going to ask you, Afolabi, then Said, then Warif. To me, Isaac is actually the best view because he's a number 9, but he's also very fluid and elegant with the way that Arsenal plays. He's able to run and pass the ball, but he's also a good finisher.
Who is that?
So to me, Isaac from the what's his name? He would be the best number 9 because he's also fluid like Havertz and those guys. He can run, he can pass. Because Arsenal plays very delicate football. Isaac is also delicate, but he's also a pure finisher too. What do you think, Afolabi?
He'll fit into Arsenal.
I agree with you. A pure number 9 now has become an endangered species.
But also, Afolabi, what I mean is that Isaac, he's not gra like
No.
He's not gra like Osimhen. He's also fluid, so he can also run and pass the ball.
Yes, he's technical, he's sleek. And then they have become endangered species. So if you have the money, just push the boat out.
Go for them.
And pay what is required to get them.
And you'll be surprised. They'll win Champions League and English League, and they'll make the money back.
The difference between Arsenal and winning the league is Isak, basically.
That's it. What are your thoughts, Warif? Then we'll go to Kunle. Kunle will take us out.
You see, the problem with Arsenal is that they don't have men up front that defenders are afraid of. If you can get somebody like Isak, Victor Osimhen, or Kroenke, what's that his name? Defenders will be afraid. They'll be afraid of them, but right now, no defender is afraid of Havertz.
That is exactly what the point I'm trying to make.
And again, Arsenal, they're not ready. There are some players that they will not just give you like that. You have to fight for it. Bible says, violent take it by force. You have to go violently for that striker. If Arsenal push for Isak or good players, they would have sold them. So you have to push. Bring out the money if you know that it is. So a person like Isak, if Arsenal brought 80 or 90, something, they would have that guy. They would have sold him. It's all about the money.
To 80 million pounds.
And they would have delivered for Arsenal.
So I don't think we can't get Osimhen 80 million pounds. Gyökeres is 80 million pounds. Or this one of them 80 million pounds.
That kind of no way. January. No way what the Saudis will pay.
Yeah, but Kunle, can I say something? Kunle, can I say something? If I were Osimhen, I would even take less money and take 80 million from Arsenal to win Champions League, to win English League, to play for Nigeria. He'll make the money back.
75 million euro. Osimhen buyout clause is 75 million euro.
It's not about the signing. It's about the pay.
I'm telling you the truth. Kunle, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not biased. I've looked at Osimhen.
I heard a rumor.
I'll take the money.
Yeah, but
I heard a
Kool-Aid.
rumor that he's
I would
looking
take the
at
money. I'm
350.
sorry. I mean, I'm a
Okay,
bad
Kool-Aid,
person.
Kool-Aid,
I know I'll take the
Kool-Aid,
money.
but here's the thing. Would you take, let me give you an example. Would you take 300 million pounds or 80 million pounds? And with the 80 million pounds, you win Champions League, you win EPL, and you're called the best striker in the world. Or would you go and take 300 million?
Yeah,
I'll
putting
take
you on the
300.
spot.
No, I'll take. I would. No, I
There's
would
life
rather
after
be.
football.
I would rather take 80 million because you know what? After you take 80 million and you win Champions League and you win EPL and they call you the best striker in the world, you'll make up the money. And also, glory.
Of
Let me tell you
course.
something. The
Of
difference
course.
between 80 million and 300 million is nothing because you have enough money for the rest of 10,000 lifetimes.
I neither have 80 nor 300 million, so I'm very curious to find out how that feels.
Perfect example. Kool-Aid, let me give you an
There's
example.
life
very
after
much.
Kool-Aid,
football.
let me give you an example. Kool-Aid, let me
There
give you an
might
example.
be more than 300 if you go to
Kool-Aid,
the
let me give you an
Saudi League
example.
because there's a lot of other things that they're using to make money there.
Yeah,
If
but
you're
Kool-Aid, let
going
me
there,
give you an
you're going to
example.
make money.
There are some people like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would rather make 2 million than 100 million, but to be called the best. When you want to be the best, and we have to realize the type of money that Osimhen has, even the money he has now, he will never be poor in his life. There's nothing he can't buy. There's nothing he can't buy with the money he has already.
I think, on my own opinion, I think we didn't push hard enough. I think it's Mr. Warif that said it. We
I've
didn't
seen
push hard
boxers with more
enough
money
for
go
this player.
bankrupt.
But that means that's discipline.
Boxers with more money
And
go
you know what,
bankrupt.
Kool-Aid, can I say something?
But
Kool-Aid, can I say something?
Saeed,
After football club,
Saeed, let me say something to
Tyson
Kool-Aid.
went bankrupt.
Saeed, let me say something to Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, Mike Tyson got 300 million for one fight, and he's broke now. So if Osimhen can't spend money, even that 300 million he gets in Saudi Arabia, he will still waste it. This is why I'm saying this is about discipline.
It's about
Life is not
management
about
and discipline.
life is not about money. It's about money and also achievement. If you make 80 million and you can be the best in the world, it's better than making 300 because he will still spend that 300 million also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Financial
if you ask
management.
me,
And
I
then
would have the
Saeed,
discipline that
Saeed,
Osimhen didn't
teams
have.
are reluctant. Teams are reluctant to part with their best players in the winter. The reason is simple.
Yeah.
If Newcastle sell Isak, they can go down to 13th or 14th. Arsenal
And they
win
might
the
be
league.
targeting
They
Champions
might be
League.
willing to do business in the summer, but maybe not immediately.
Yeah.
Mr.
Kool-Aid, I'll
Mr.
give you an
Afolabi,
example.
I
This
think-
is
Mr.
Kool-Aid, let me
Afolabi,
give you
I
one
think
example.
you are
Kool-Aid,
not
They
getting
won't
my
know
point.
about my domestic
Kool-Aid,
career.
let me give you an
They'll not
example.
see me win
Kool-Aid,
World
let me give you an
Cups.
example. Let me give you an example. On all of my shows, I spend up to $600 a month, every month, just to do these shows. If I only like money, I'll cancel that, and I'm making $600 a month. So you see what I'm doing? I'm spending my money to do what I enjoy. I could stop. All the money I spent on this show every month is $600. If I didn't do that, I'll be making 600. So why am I not like what's his name? That
Osimhen.
$600 is hurting me,
Osimhen.
Osimhen.
but I don't do it. So
I
why
think
can't
I
Osimhen
think
be like me?
The Saudi League is growing stronger with every
No, but Kool-Aid, you're not
transfer
listening
window.
to me.
It's
Money is
going
not the most
stronger with
important thing in
every
the world.
transfer window. There's no
So let me
reason
give you an
why the
example. Let
Saudi
me
League
give you an
can't
example,
catch
Kool-Aid.
Europe sooner
Kool-Aid, let
than
me
you
give you an
think.
example. If
If you
someone
want
told
to
me
use
that,
that.
Kool-Aid, let me give you an
Kool-Aid to
example. If
take
someone
light
told me
years
that,
for them to catch up
Kool-Aid,
with
let me give you an
Europe.
example. If
No,
I know,
but
guys, I'm going off on a tangent.
every transfer season, every transfer window, they're picking quality players and they're picking more and more, and it's getting exponential. It's not going to take them 10 years before they have almost as many top quality players in that league, and we have to start watching that league.
Because they're planning
No,
to host the
Kool-Aid,
World
I
Cup.
disagree with you. Kool-Aid, let me
Because
give you
they're
a bet.
planning to host
like
the World
this.
Cup.
You know,
Kool-Id, let's take a bet.
China
Kool-Aid, let's take a bet.
China lost
Kool-Aid,
motion trying to do
Kool-Aid,
it, but
let's take a
Saudi,
bet.
they've been increasingly
Kool-Aid,
getting more
Kool-Aid,
motion in it.
Kool-Aid, let's do a bet, okay? In 6 years from now, the European League will still be the #1 league, and Osimhen will be ready to retire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
6
Yeah.
years.
True.
6 years.
It's true. Yeah.
By the
And
time,
if Osimhen does not go to a good club, go to Europe, after this time, if he stays in Turkish league, he will be non-relevant. Nobody.
Of this because they want to host
He will just be making the money, but
It's
nobody
just
will
because
not
they want
be.
to host the World Cup that they're doing all of this.
okay,
They can
I
never
add-
catch up
You guys,
with
can I
Europe.
add one more point? You guys, can I add one
In
more
6
point?
years, in 6
Can
years,
never.
I
Okay,
will,
you
I
guys-
will bet you
Europeans
that the
don't
Saudi
agree.
League in 6 years will be at least competing with the Premier
I don't
League.
think so. No,
Like, never,
football will never leave
never.
Europe. It will never
And
leave
it would
Europe.
have
Europeans
it would be competing
Kool-Aid,
with
here's
the
what would
No.
happen.
League in 6
Kool-Aid,
years
here's what would
from
happen.
now.
Kool-Aid, here's
No
what happened.
way.
China tried it. Remember,
You guys,
China
let me say
tried
my
it.
point.
They
You guys, let me
crash.
say my point.
See what happened in
Kool-Aid,
China.
Kool-Aid,
See
you
what
guys, let me
happened
finish
in
my
China.
point.
China
Let me
tried
finish
it
my
now.
point. In 6 years from now, Saudis will shift their money to PSG and to European teams. They'll just invest in Europe because they know it will never leave Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, it will never leave Europe.
Yeah.
Now
it's
let me
true.
add the last point. So here's the last point. Osimhen did well with Napoli, but Osimhen has not earned the right to make the same money as Kane and Haaland because he hasn't scored 40 goals in Italy or in England or anywhere. So what he needs to do is go to
Spain.
England and take low money
Spain.
and score 42 goals. Then he has the right to ask for 300 million. He doesn't have the right because he's not even scoring 40 goals, and even with Galatasaray, he's not going to score 40 goals. So before he gets the same money as Harry Kane, he needs to score 42 goals. This guy scored 50 goals. The guy from Poland. The guy from Poland scored 50 goals.
Lewandowski.
So my thing is that Osimhen is not worth being paid the top striker because he hasn't scored 40 goals in any league, but he can. So what he should do is to come in and humble himself, collect 80 million, score 46 goals.
I think
get your money.
His agent is not even doing him well.
More in assists, I think, than goals.
Yeah, but even if you look at his assists, Kane has more assists and goals in a tougher league than he is in.
Yeah.
But although Kane is in the better team,
and even Cole Palmer has more assists than him and more goals than what he's scoring in Turkey. So what I'm saying is that we know he's talented, but he needs to earn his money by proving his skill. What last thoughts